Hi, my name is Heather Feather. I am the owner of Rare Bird Medicine, and today I wanted to talk about practicing pronoia. Pronoia is seen and defined as kind of the opposite of paranoia. With paranoia, we can assume that others or life or circumstances are conspiring against us. Things are out to get us. We get paranoid. Oh, what if something's out to get me? What if people are conspiring against me, talking about me behind my back? You get paranoid. Pronoia is where you fundamentally assume that the universe and all of life is conspiring in your favor. I'm always talking about the flipping coins of the mind, and I love the other side of this coin called paranoia, because pronoia is where you start to appreciate everything you're given in your life. And that can seem like a challenging thing to do for some, because it's like, well, there are lots of experiences I've had in my life that not only did I not want to have them, I wouldn't wish them on others. I've certainly said that plenty about my own life. I've had tons of experiences I do not wish for others to experience. I can't say all of the experiences that I've been given have added to my matrix. They have offered, they have given. Richard Bach says in Illusions that there is no such thing as a problem for you without a gift for you in its hands. We seek problems because we seek their gifts. That was in the Messiah's Handbook inside of the book Illusions. But we seek problems because we seek their gifts. Because every problem, every challenge, every trial, every tribulation ultimately extends something to you. It's like, this is hard, but look here. Now you're strong. Now you have boundaries. Now you have greater fortitude. Now you're more humble. Now you have greater patience. Now you blah, 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 blah. You can't develop forgiveness or have the opportunity to apply forgiveness in your matrix if somebody doesn't betray, wrong, or do something to you that you feel is judge-worthy. And forgiveness is a practice that fundamentally corrects your initial judgment. That's fundamentally what's happening. It's not about, and it really doesn't have anything to do with the other person other than that you chose to judge them. You said that was not okay. And forgiveness needs to be applied because that separatist act of judgment, separating yourself from the all that is, the way we get back to unification is through forgiveness. Every experience you've ever had that has felt heartbreaking, that has been painful, that has been difficult, if you marinate truthfully with yourself, you will find that there are gifts that you opened from that time. All the death I've experienced has caused me to have complete peace with death. I have no concern over exiting this plane whatsoever. I'm really excited for that manifestation and know how lovely it's going to be. And I have total peace with it. All of the assault that I faced, all of the trauma at the hands of others, the victimization, the victim role, I would say I've chosen to play in this life, taking 100% ownership over the creation that I think started way before I was in this flesh costume, my creation with the all. I think that we seek to grow, we seek to know, we seek to evolve, we seek problems because we want their gifts. So we create scenarios where we can unwrap the package of forgiveness. You can't unwrap the package of forgiveness without something to forgive, something seemingly unforgivable. You can't unwrap the package of strength, and I'm talking about true strength, like being unflappable, having a strengthened mental fortitude as well as physical, but just having mental and emotional strength. Two-leggeds don't open that gift without having trials and tribulations that cause them to learn how to be strengthened in the face of adversity. So the foundational association, in my experience, that two-leggeds have down here is that that we've got to get the bad out of the world. And that the problem is that the world has some bad in it. And if we can get rid of the bad, then problem solved. Then we can all grab our guitars, sing Kumbaya, and just figure out how to levitate together and kiss each other on each other's cheeks. Great. But I don't know, 100 years of that, 1,000 years of that, 2,000 years of that, we might just create another Earth out of boredom from the consistent singular vibration of the truth of our frequency, which is loving kindness. So what is happening right now is you're made out of emptiness. And when I talk about this so much, because really look around you and look at yourself. You don't walk through your day as if you're made out of emptiness. You walk through your day as if you could run into things because you have a formness, an existence-ness, a being there-ness. But your reality is that you're emptiness. I believe, and I always say I'm not here to sell my beliefs. However, the only perspective I have to offer you is mine, and what I'm doing here is offering my perspective. I believe wholeheartedly this is a hologram that reflects consciousness, and all of your experiences are a reflection of consciousness. I think that spirit is eternal. I think another way to say what I'm saying right now is energy cannot be created nor destroyed. The energy that we have is the energy that we'll always have. It will always exist because it has that eternality component where it cannot be destroyed. There is no threat to it. So the energy, which is what I'm comprised of, what you're comprised of, what everything you've ever looked at is comprised of, it can't be hurt if you really ruminate on that. Like, what does that mean? Energy can't be destroyed and I'm made of energy. It means you can cut my body into a million little pieces. You can rape it, you can punch it, you can, kiss it, you can love it. But whatever you do to it, it will always be. You cannot eliminate me. So when we connect with the concept of eternality, whether we need to go there scientifically, spiritually, or religiously, those three facets of being here at Earth School tend to have a lot of righteousness. Like, I'm in the spiritual sector and I'm right. I'm in the scientific sector and I'm right. I'm in the religious sector and I'm right. And that's ego. Don't worry about if you're right. Just do what feels good to you. Follow your heart. Pursue what is your truth. And good, you've found your truth. Follow your truth. They're all theories. Science, spirituality, religion, all theories. Pick the theory that works for you. Do that. But don't assume that every other two-legged needs to follow your theory or that your theory works for them. They have their own mind. They have their own questions. They have their own timeline. And so, of course, humans are going to do that, but it might cause more peace if you stop trying to ask others to be you, because that's an exhausting process because they're never going to be you. So it's kind of an energy waster. But this thing that I'm talking about energy not being able to be destroyed, means you're eternal. And if you're eternal, you can't fundamentally be hurt. Because if you're a character in a play or in a movie, if you go in and go, okay, I'm going to be this character, and you're playing the antagonist, at the end of the play, at the end of the movie, when you get off the stage, people aren't like, you're a terrible villain and everyone hates you. It's like, wow, good acting. Well done. Well done, Eternal Energy. You really nailed that role of being a bad guy. Which is just a judgment of the roles down here. But my invocation and my invitation to my consciousness today, and a consistent one I bring into play, is to practice Pronoia. And it is a practice because it's really easy if you're very empathetic and very psychic like I am, and you tend to absorb other people's thoughts and feelings. You tend to have a really awakened brow, third eye chakra, and you just kind of take in. You're very clairaudient, clairvoyant, claircognizant, clairsentient, or all four. You may absorb a lot of negativity in the world that isn't your own. So it's a practice for me to not step into other people's frequencies where they want to have a more paranoid or fear-based or negativistic perception of their world. Because the thing is, perception we are choosing. We're choosing that. We're saying, I perceive the world as this. Like, that's a decision we're making. And we also have complete free will to change our mind if it doesn't feel good, the choice we've made. So I'm always trying to remember, like, oh, that felt weird. Let's reassess this situation. I don't want to feel that way about the world or about myself or about that person. So the way we practice Pronoia is we start looking at everything we've ever been given as a gift. Your physical body, exactly as it is right now, total gift. By the way, beautiful from my perspective. Stunning, handsome, delicious, lovely. Love your body. It's great. It does so many things for you every day of your life. Your mind, even with negative thoughts, even with depressive concepts. Beautiful. How lovely that our mind and our feelings can go in so many directions and places. How wonderful that we don't have to live an entire life with one way of thinking and one type of feeling for an entire lifetime. That would be boring. It's viable that eternality, the eternality of energy, or if you choose to say spirit, put whatever dress on it you want. We tend to like to argue about words down here a lot at Earth School for some reason. Maybe because there's such a paltry sum of what we need when we try to describe things. But, whatever dress you want to put on it, you will always be. And if you will always be, there's no threat. There's no threat to you or to me if we will always be. If energy is going to always exist, there's really no threat. So from that perspective, then everything I've ever experienced is a gift. Being really poor in my childhood, such a gift. You can't imagine the magnitude of gratitude I have around every single thing that I have in my life right now, because I got to experience really extreme poverty at different points in my life. And it causes me to have appreciation and greater graciousness with the way I engage with the consumption of things, more mindfulness around it, because I know what it's like to not have resources. Very familiar. Fundamentally, whatever trauma, whatever trial, whatever tribulation, all of the assault that I've faced, fundamentally, none of it hurt me. I mean, I didn't get murdered in those scenarios, but if my energy is eternal, even if I got murdered, it'd be okay, because I'll always exist. So all of those experiences have caused a tremendous, very strengthened warrior woman energy in me. I have beautiful boundaries today that I didn't have in my youth, which offered me lots of learning. That has offered me a bunch of learning to not have boundaries. What a wonderful thing. What a wonderful thing to teach our children, the value of having a boundary, which is an important thing as a parent, because we tend to have boundaries. I'm not a parent, but parents tend to have boundaries that they want the child to respect, but then it's not always extended back for that child to have a right to have boundaries. So that's a good offering. Your body, you can decide if you want to hug them or kiss them or high five them or not touch them at all. We can also teach and imbue in our youth that concept of boundaries so that they can be strengthened in understanding experiences they do and do not choose. What I do know about Earth School is it's always offered shadow and light, fear and love. It's always offered rape, murder, assault, violence, aggressiveness. And it's also always offered compassion, kindness, love, tenderness, vulnerability. It's always offered both. There's never a point in all of our history where it hasn't offered both. I don't really see a point in the future where it's not going to offer both, because Earth School is a dichotomy. This plane, this realm, this reality, even if you don't want to consider it a realm like you would see it in the shamanic site, even if you think this is all there is and it is what it is and it's not, there's nothing spiritual to it, the fact is it's always had duality. So how can we take that side of the duality that's called, I don't want it, no thanks, I don't want to be a victim, or I don't want to, and see the gift in it? How can you rewrite your victim stories as a story of something that added to you, gave you a gift? How can you have pronoia about all that you experience and really believe, really walk in, really stand in, really come from? The universe is always conspiring in my favor. The universe is always conspiring in my favor. The universe is always conspiring in my favor. Because from that place, you'll find that Earth School is an absolute grace. Blessed be.